Welcome, my fellow weeaboos and Castlevania fans, to my Castlevania Nocturne Strength and Power tier list. If you haven't seen my original Castlevania Strength and Power tier list, I recommend watching that first. And now let's do this. The low vampire tiers for characters above no-named vampires and can easily take out fodder. Edouard as a human was able to fight vampire fodder along with the rest of the main cast, though he was overwhelmed. The Martianist blitzed the guy with a gun and almost killed Terra with a surprise attack. Her husband, the Marquis, put up a fight against Richter before he unlocked his magic. Vablanc fought against Annette, and even though he ended up losing, that was because she had years to study him and used crosses to trap him and force him to experience sunlight. Nikolai was hired to kill Richter and thinks he can kill the guy who killed the Marquis. He overwhelmed Pre-Magic Richter with his cronies backing him up. The mid-vampire tier is where we start to get to characters who are a bit more relevant in power. Edouard, after becoming a night creature, was strong enough to defeat others of his kind. He even defeated the night creature with many arms, and that one was able to kill other night creatures himself. It's worth mentioning the average night creature is stronger than the average vampire, as a group of night creatures gave Richter and Maria far more trouble than vampires in the very same episode. Mizrak was able to kill night creatures and vampires alike, but he was clearly weaker than the likes of Richter, Maria, and Annette, as he got overwhelmed by fodder on multiple occasions and needed Alrox to save him. A fight between him and night creature Edouard could probably go either way, but I put Mizrak above as he had an exchange with Alrox as well as vampire Terra that at least showed he could somewhat tangle with them, while Edouard only ever fought fodder. Terra as a human was a powerful speaker magician that could kill both vampires and night creatures without much issue. Annette's a powerful magician as well and could manipulate the earth and metals. Her feats are a bit more impressive than Terra's, and she managed to hold her own against base Drolta. Base Drolta showed superiority over Annette, Maria, and Terra in Season 1. She was called a powerful vampire along with Alrox by Terra. The high vampire tiers for powerful vampires and vampire hunters. Terra, after becoming a vampire, was implied to be a pawn comparable to Drolta if not for her lack of loyalty. She can still use her magic, and she was able to beat Juiced before he re-unlocked his magic. Drolta in her Super Saiyan Rosé form was on par with Richter after he unlocked his magic. Richter had to save Maria from her, putting her soundly above Maria during Season 1. Richter did end up taking the advantage over her, but that was with some assistance from Maria and Alrox. When Drolta chased them down, she would have killed Richter even with Annette trying to defend him had Alucard not swooped in. Alrox in his base form was hyped up as a vampire on Drolta's level and could hold his own against Julia Belmont. Maria in Season 1 would be a tier below along with her human mother and Annette. But in Season 2, her power vastly grew with her rage, and then she mastered that power, gaining new summons that included a powerful dragon. She fought alongside Richter and Juiced against the powered-up Erzsébet, easily putting her on this tier. Julia Belmont was a powerful vampire hunter that mastered Belmont fighting techniques as well as magic. She got the better of base Alrox, and it could be argued she could have had a chance against transformed Alrox had Richter not distracted her. Juiced Belmont without his magic would probably be in the mid-vampire tier, but after regaining his magic, he was able to fight against Erzsébet alongside Maria and Richter. I put him above his daughter as it was stated he was the most powerful magician the Belmont line ever produced, and I put him above Maria as he was able to overpower and defeat Maria's most powerful summon. The Arc Vampire tier is about the highest level a mortal or even immortal character can hope to achieve. Alucard in his base form easily killed Vampire Drolta and was able to hold his own quite well against Night Creature Drolta, putting him in this tier. It's pretty clear he was above Richter at the start of Season 2, however I think that changed by the end. Richter at the start of Season 1 would be in the mid-vampire tier, probably right above Annette, but after unlocking his magic he moved up a tier and would go right under pink-haired Drolta. He would be in that tier for most of Season 2, maybe reaching the top during the fight with Erzsébet, as he arguably did better against her than his grandfather and Maria did. Then all of a sudden Richter decided to lock in against Night Creature Drolta, and did even better than base Alucard against her. At times it seemed Richter was even stronger than her, but it's pretty clear he wouldn't have won without Alucard and Alrox as backup, which is why I put her above him. Drolta got the better of base Alucard on multiple occasions, which is why she goes above him as well. Alrox in his transformed state killed Julia and got the better of Night Creature Drolta. Alucard admitted Alrox has saved him on more than one occasion, so he's definitely a peer of Alucard's. Alucard in his red-eyed mode was able to fight against the Sekhmet powered Drolta. He used the same magical attack his father used, which made Drolta struggle, and Richter could barely deflect it when it was knocked over to him. Richter was able to do some damage against her too, but it was clear Alucard was the main fighting force between the two. The Sekhmet tier is for characters raised to the level of a god by obtaining the power of Sekhmet. Annette, while possessed with 1/3 of Sekhmet, didn't show much in terms of combat, and couldn't really do anything against Erzsébet, which is why I put her at the bottom of this tier. Alucard hoped she would be a match for Erzsébet and the other two Sekhmet souls, which sounds like him admitting inferiority to her power. She did end up taking her power back from Drolta, so this tier does seem right for her. Ursabet, powered up with just 1/3 of Sekhmet's soul, became an unstoppable monster who was barely fazed by Richter's, Maria's, Terra's, or Annette's attacks. She had the magical power to block out the sun, and Alrox admitted he was not powerful enough to fight against her. After getting another third of Sekhmet's soul, she became even stronger and could match the combined force of Richter, Just, and Maria. Drolta, after taking the power of Sekhmet from Ursabet, likely surpassed her in power. I suppose you could argue Ursabet at full power was actually stronger, since her base form was likely stronger, though base form Ursabet never actually fights, so that isn't really confirmed. When it comes to performance, Ursabet was about equal to Richter, Just, and Maria combined, while Drolta was a bit above Richter and Red-Eyed Alucard combined. So I guess it depends how strong you think Red-Eyed Alucard is compared to Just and Maria, as well as how much stronger you think Richter got over the course of the fight. Either way, Drolta should at least be above Ursabet when she only had 1/3 of Sekhmet, as she has 2/3. That's the end of my Castlevania Nocturne Strength and Power tier list. I hope you enjoyed. I also hope you like, comment, and subscribe. If they ever make more Castlevania shows, I will be sure to make more lists on them. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Oh, and I'm sure a lot of you probably want to know how I think the Nocturne characters compare to the OG ones. Here's my full list combining both series. Now you really owe me a like. If you don't give me my tribute, I will cast this world into eternal fucking night.